What's up, guys? Happy Hump Day. Let's make sure we have our streams in here. Let me make sure. It is your girl V with Reality Recap here for your midday tea talk. I am back on schedule. Thank you guys for checking in yesterday as I completed 4 tea talks yesterday to make sure that I was up to date on all episodes that came on Thursday through Sunday of this past week. And we are back on schedule. So today, your midday tea talk is on last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So drop a comment, check in, let me know you're out there. Let me know your thoughts on last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL as I give you my unsolicited thoughts. I'm going to go into my notes as I always do. But I thought last night was a really good episode. I'll just start off by saying that I've truly enjoyed from a just insane and laughter perspective. I've enjoyed this season of Love and Hip Hop ATL. We know we have one episode left. We have the season finale next week. So we'll see the fiasco of this cast album, Cypher, diss track compilation tour, or their first performance of it. I shouldn't say tour. They're supposed to go to tour after this, right? But we'll have the season finale next week. So it's coming to an end, and I'll keep you posted on when Love and Hip Hop Miami will return and sneak peeks and trailers of that, of course. But let's get into it. We started out with Carly and Ciara. They did a double date at Pickleball. And they discussed their joint engagement party and who would be on the invite list. You know, Carly wants to invite Amy. Ciara wants to invite Bambi. We all know that they are feuding and not at the best of terms and being real petty the entire season. But since it's a joint venture with this engagement party, they have decided that, they're going to be cordial and have, everyone attend, even though they may not be getting along. And they say that it's going to go okay, everything's going to be all right. We know that's not true in Love and Hip Hop, especially after I gave you guys the episode highlight clip. But that was the agreed upon direction that they were going to take, that everyone would be invited. Scrappy and Spice shoot their music video for the song Pull Up. And I want to say, I like the song. I think it has a good beat, a nice vibe to it. It's definitely not a part of the cast album. I think this is on Spice's album, but it was a dope video shoot, a good song. But yeah, don't look for that to be on the cast album. When they finished shooting the video, Scrappy, he played his song that will be on this cast album, and it was finished. We know he didn't want to perform it the last episode when everybody was together and supposed to be practicing, but he did finish the song. And Spice was excited about it. And then she also asked him, like, what's going on? You got these girls beefing on you over you on tracks. You got Bambi and Amy going back and forth. What's going on with you and Amy? He did confide in her and let her know that he would be going on a date with Amy. He calls it a fun date. I don't know what that means. I thought all dates were supposed to be fun. But he's decided, he's going to go on a date with Amy. We also see Zell meet with Yandy. He met with Yandy last night to apologize. If you don't know, Yandy caught some strays because he was upset at the baby brunch for Rennie, where he felt like Shakana and Santana Saucy was making fun of his situation with his baby on the way, and saying some rude things about his potential baby mother. Like, has anybody seen an ultrasound? And Shakana acting like she's so shocked that Zell laid down and produced the baby with a woman. Um, saying that, oh my God, it was a real woman. He slept with a real woman. So Yandy caught some strays in that. Rashida did too. And honestly, Kendra as well, because he was kind of like, y'all over here laughing when y'all got issues going on at home. Yandy, especially, you don't need to be laughing the way these blogs is talking about your husband. So he sat down to apologize to Yandy. Um, he was still shady in confessionals though, but he did apologize to Yandy, letting her know that, he felt like Saucy had been antagonizing his baby mother, following her on Instagram, liking her posts, going to places and lounges she may be at and throwing money. And that's because Saucy really cares about Zell, in my opinion, but he's not able to express those feelings or say that. He's trying to, always play tough and like he don't care about nothing. He want to be, always have that city girl mentality. But I think he really does care about Zell and is upset or pretty much hurt that he has a baby on the way with this woman. So he apologized, but he also said in his confession, doesn't mean that what he said is not true and that the streets is saying that Mandisi's be up in these sheets and not with Yandy. We've all seen it on the Shade Room, what was said. We know the whole situation with Alexis Sky, and I don't know if it was her makeup artist, stylist, friend, someone who was on her live that also mentioned how, Mandisi's be stepping out on Yandy. And I think we're going to see more of that come up from Jasmine and her friend trying to get her 15 minutes of fame on the show and what she has to say about what she heard about Mandisi. So that's definitely going to circle around in the season finale. But he apologized nonetheless to Yandy. Yandy continues to be oblivious to all of these things that are being said, and she's saying that her and Mandisi is in a good place. Okay, okay, Rashida Jr. But she's in a good place and she accepted Zell's apology. But again, he was very shady to me in his confessional. And not so much shady, but if that's what he heard, that's what he heard. Maybe we should have said that at the table to Yandy, but that's what he heard about Mandisi, that he'd be up in them sheets and not with Yandy. Um, what else did we see? Also, I wanted to say I was very distracted when Zell was having a conversation with Yandy, and I put that in my caption when I posted the sneak peek. What is going on with his teeth, right? Like the grill was in, it was out. When he talks with it, he's not able to speak clearly. We saw in earlier episodes when he was hiding his mouth, his face looked swole. So I don't know if he's getting veneers or if he was working on veneers and a grill. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I really hope they have a reunion because I have questions on what the hell has been going on with his teeth this entire season. But if you noticed, from a production standpoint, it was like, okay, grill is in, flip the camera back, come back, grill is gone, grill comes back, grill goes gone, grill comes back. I'm like, what is going on? But nothing to do with the conversation. It was just something that I kept noticing, like production. Really, y'all. Yeah, y'all should have told him take it out and have the conversation so we can't tell that you're piecing this scene together. um we didn't see Scrap and Amy go on their date. I don't know, looked like they went to just a regular old trampoline park. He's not putting much effort, but I guess, hey, this is supposed to be a fun date. So that's what the fun was, them jumping through balls and trampolines and stuff like that. It looked like they went to what's the trampoline park name? Is it Catch Air or something like that? But that seems like where they was. I was a little confused about their conversation because Amy wants to know, is he still sleeping with Erica? Is he still sleeping with Bambi? When's the last time he did? And he's asking her, well, what about Chaotic? Are you still messing with him when the last time you slept with him? Yet, they're both saying, oh, we're just having fun, no strings attached. I want to be single. Scrappy is telling you that he doesn't want to chase you. He ain't gonna chase you. So it was kind of like, how could I put it? Where's your self respect, Amy? Just because, I mean, continuously outside of we seen her with the guy that she was engaged to, that she broke off, that I think she really did him dirty. There's a common theme of you just want to mess around with people and not have strings attached, or you choosing men to mess with that don't really are claiming you, not claiming you at all. Hence the guy that Bambi's dating, because he supposedly didn't claim Amy at all. But I don't know personally if I would go on a date with somebody that's just calling it a fun date and trying to basically label the date to make it clear that I ain't really into you like that. I'm not gonna put in any effort. I'm not gonna chase you. I'll get up in them cheeks if you let me to. but I'm not going to put any effort into it. Why would you lower yourself to go on a date and deal with that? All people with Scrappy, who's messed with the entire Love and Hip Hop, hell, outside of Love and Hip Hop, just Atlanta in general. Why is there no other curved D's in Atlanta? Why must you just mess with this one? I don't know. And I just don't understand it. I wouldn't just lower myself again to go on a date with somebody that's saying, well, hey, I forgot to put this up for you guys so you know we're talking about love and hip hop. Well, hey, yeah, let's go on this fun date. No strings attached. I ain't chasing you. I ain't putting in no effort, but we can go on this date. And then I'm gonna take you to catch air to jump with some trampolines. Oh, all right, girl. I also found it interesting that Amy was saying to him, like, I always had my eye on you. I always thought you were handsome, but, me and Bambi were friends at the time, or so I thought. And that's why I'm saying, keep these hoes away from your men. Like, keep these hoes away from your men. You can't trust nobody. Keep them away from your man. And not even saying that your man is going to fall for it, because if you have the right one, he's not going to fall for it. He's going to let you know. But like, that's grimy to hear that she was looking at him from jump. So you mad at Bam because she's messing with a guy that you messed with over a decade ago, that wasn't claiming you, that was saying that it was nothing serious, that, oh, it was just some like slide through in the middle of the night, which is a common thing with everyone, with Amy, with Chaotic, with with Scrappy, with this other guy. Like all of these, he's not claiming you, yet you were looking at Scrappy from jump and thinking he was handsome and pretty much waiting in the wings for your turn. And now that they have had children together, they were married and divorced, and you're mad and trying to get back at her over a guy that wasn't even claiming you with her ex-husband. But honestly, you was already looking at him. So that's crazy to me. But that's why I said, ladies, keep these hoes away from your man. Rule number one. But I don't know what's going to come out of their relationship. To me, it seems like on both ends, with Scrappy and with Amy. Scrappy's only dating Amy because he thinks that Bambi was trying to holler at Chaotic, and vice versa with Amy. She's really only dating Scrappy because she's trying to get back at Bambi. That's not a true connection in my opinion. That's just a get back, trying to get a lick back, and it's grimy on both ends. And I feel like I told you guys, I feel like Chaotic blew that out of proportion. When now personally, I probably wouldn't have said that to my ex-husband friend if he laying on a stretcher and be like, did my thickness make you pass out? I probably wouldn't have said that, but he blew it out of proportion. Chaotic did when telling Scrappy. So to me, they just both trying to get back and not really a true connection. So I don't know how far that's gonna go. We'll see what happens after they have, I guess, a few more fun dates. We'll see what happens with them on the season finale. Um, Spice then has a conversation with Jock. Um, Jock is confused, just like the rest of us, on Spice's cast album, because number one, everybody's rapping on the same beat. So how is that an album? Is she confused on what an album is? How could she be? She's an artist. She makes albums. I don't know. But everybody's rapping on the same beat. So is it just one song that they're putting out? Are they putting out like kind of like We Are the World type song where it's just one song with everybody on it? Is it a diss track where everybody's supposed to be dissing each other? Jock is just confused as the rest of us on this cast album because we've only heard one beat with several different takes on the beat. It's not cohesive. How are they ready for a performance is beyond me. I'm also not clear on, is everybody just using the same beat but making their own individual song? That also to me is not a cast album. So Jock expressed kind of what I think we're all thinking. He's confused on the direction of this album. He thought he was just making a song with Spice for an album and there were going to be multiple songs. But again, everybody has the same beat. So I'm thoroughly confused. But Jock lets her know that he's not going to be able to move forward with participating in the cast album. He got enough going on at home with Kendra, ready to hurt him because he keep embarrassing her. that last conversation with that girl Mo and Kendra didn't go well. Mo was very disrespectful to his wife, and in my opinion, he did nothing to shut that down and pretty much put Mo in her place. Like, nah, you're not gonna talk to my wife like that. He didn't do any of that. So he moping around because he done messed up yet again. And he tells her that he's not able to be a part of the album and he backs out. We then see Jock, he said he been home, he ain't been going outside. Everything at home has been kind of like quiet or on some like, well, whatever with him and Kendra. And Kendra had valid points. Like that girl Mo was disrespectful. Do I believe that she owed a conversation to Kendra when that video came out? First of all, if it was the roles were reversed and that was Mo's man, would she have liked if Kendra was caught on camera in her man's face that close? Whether she was upset or not, you're not his woman to be in his face like that. And if something came out and it was nothing as they truly say it was, which I personally think that he's messing with that girl Mo, the way she showed up in that little ass orange dress and all of that, I think something is definitely going on. But yeah, he didn't address it. He didn't handle it correctly. The woman is telling your wife, if I wanted your husband, I could have him. And I don't owe you nothing. Like, and you didn't nip that in the bud. You ended up making sure security walk up to her car while I'm leaving and while Kendra's leaving in her car. You worried about you worried about Mo getting to her car with security. Like their whole interaction to me was still, I'm still side eyeing it. And then at the end of the day, he ain't fired Mo. I ain't hear him saying that conversation with Kendra that he fired Mo, but he's apologizing. She's falling for it. They hugging and they gonna be okay until the next time he do it. He did say on his end though that he's tired of Kendra throwing divorce in his face every time they go through a hard time, which is understandable. But come on, bruh, you keep embarrassing her in front of the entire world with other women, things like that, things that she should have been already divorced your ass for. We just being honest, but I thought to me the best way to resolve that would to be to either try to have another conversation with Kendra where he leads the conversation instead of sitting there with his face and his mouth wide open. What? He should have drove the conversation, made clear boundaries for Mo, explained, and she should have apologized for Kendra and how it was spent in the media. She shouldn't even have been that close for that to be the narrative that was painted. And also, if she wasn't able to comply with that, she continued, she was disrespectful and she would no longer be working for my husband. First of all, she probably would have been working for my husband to begin with because Kendra said this isn't the first time that somebody has seen them together and said you might need to look into that conversation. Where there's smoke, or not conversation in that relationship, but where there is smoke, there is fire. So with that said, her ass got to go out the door. Out the door. She should not be on his team anymore. He can get money with other people because she was totally disrespectful. But Kendra fell for it. She forgave him. They hugging and they on to better days after all of their back and forth about the children and having kids and all of that. Still some uphill battles they're gonna have to go through. So we'll see how they end on the season finale as well. What else? What else? What else? Then we get to the engagement party, the infamous engagement party. I gave you guys a highlight clip early this morning. I should say, I say last night because I scheduled my post at night for you guys in the morning. But early this morning, you guys got the highlight of the engagement party, the joint engagement party with Carly and Sierra and their soon to be husbands. Well, I guess at this point, both of them are actually married. Carly has already married her guy. And Ciara, I let you guys know a few weeks ago, she went down to the courthouse and married her dude too. So they're actually married, but in this scene, it was their engagement party. That kicks off. Zell comes with his baby mother. She looks nice, but I didn't see a good enough view of her to see does she look pregnant. I guess it's still early on here because they just peed on the stick and had like one doctor's appointment. We still ain't seen no ultrasound. I personally am not convinced that this woman is really pregnant. I'm really not. But hey, that's his storyline. And he showed up with her. And she looked nice though at the party. Amy comes, Bambi is there, and then Ciara comes in late like always. I say chaotic. Bambi and Carly, before I get into chaotic and his messy questions, Bambi and Carly, Carly asked Bambi to have a conversation. Now, while they didn't resolve the underlying issues of what Carly said about Bambi messing with her ex fiance, or that Bambi wants her man because she reached out to him in DMs to try to set up a surprise for Carly's birthday. I don't know. We didn't get to the underlying issues there, where they had the fight at the baby mama reveal, and Bambi pulled the Naomi Campbell and chucked her phone at Carly. They did have a surface apology to, I apologize for throwing the phone at you. Carly accepted the apology. They really have a genuine friendship and have been friends for a really long time. So I hope that they can resolve it. But they have a surface apology and say they will table the rest for a deeper conversation at a later time. Oh, I got hiccups. But, not at that time, because at the end of the day, we're at your engagement party. But they were able to at least apologize and clear the air for the event, which again, I hope that they can resolve it because they have been friends for a really long time. At another table, Chaotic is sitting there with Amy, and Zell is there with his baby mama. And Chaotic asked about Amy and Ciara. She say, Amy's saying that she's a God-fearing woman and that she has love for Ciara. They just hurt each other's feelings or said some things they probably shouldn't have said. And someone at the table asked, "Well, how you a God-fearing woman? You out here dropping diss tracks?" And she said, "Well, God gave her the talent, so that's what she was gonna do with it." I don't know what that had to do with anything about her being some God-fearing woman, but okay, girl. That was her response. Then we saw Zell asked Amy, "Is the rumors true that she's smashing Scrappy?" She then replies that she's not smashing Scrappy. I tend to think otherwise. I truly think they have already done so. But she says they went on a few dates. A few dates. We only saw one date, the fun date. But she's saying they went on a few dates. And Zell made a lot of sense in that, where he said, "Well, are you just doing this to get revenge, right? Because of this other guy that Bambi's dating." And Amy then doubles down on the fact that she's always thought that Scrappy was handsome or attractive, but she thought that her and Bambi was friends, and now that she's established that they're not, she's pursuing it. But Zell made a lot of sense to me, and that's how I feel like with Bambi and this guy. I don't think she really, in my opinion, I don't think she really knew that was Amy's man. And even though the guy is telling Amy that he did tell Bambi about the situation, is he telling you how he said it? Because it seems like, and everybody's under the perception that it wasn't nothing serious, or you weren't the way Amy's acting. Amy's acting like she was in a long-term committed relationship with this guy, where this guy is barely claiming her. He's not even saying that y'all dated. It was just some late night stop by, hop between the cheeks and move on. So you trying to get back at Bambi over this guy that we only seen one time on the show. We don't even know if she's still dating him. We haven't seen her with him since. It doesn't even seem like they're in a relationship. You go and mess with a man that she's had 3 kids with, and the ink ain't even dried on the divorce papers. It's like comparing apples to oranges. It doesn't make sense to me why you think that's your best course of action of revenge. It's weird. So Zell, I was totally in agreement when he said that. Like, and to me, Amy really didn't have a response to that. They really moved on to Ciara walks over and Zell then brings up with himself getting the controversy started, just stirring that pot. He brings up Amy's diss track. And Ciara's like, yeah, I've already heard it. And that's where the drama takes off because Ciara was saying like you wrong for making that, it was whack of you to kind of do that. And then the jabs start coming back and forth where Amy's saying that Sierra's face is trash, that her face is forever changing, that she's had so much plastic surgery to try to look like her face, but she failed and it looks trash. Sierra said that Amy face so strong she could pick up that whole building they was in. I was crying, yo. Y'all have to see. It went from an engagement party to a full on roast. But she was saying Amy face is strong. You got Zell talking about Amy looked like Wesley Snipes, and I was like, what is going on here? But they was roasted. I will say, I don't really care for Amy. I feel like she's done. I call her Angry Luciani, like Bambi coined her. But I feel like she's done a lot of just whack shit this season with the whole I'ma mess with Scrappy and even being mad over this guy that really wasn't even claiming her. The fight at her pressed photo shoot. I don't know. It's just been a lot where I feel like Amy is really working to stay on this show and not really being authentic. We don't really know what's going on with her rap career. It's love and hip hop, and all we've gotten out of her is a diss track against Bambi. But I just don't like when I've always said this. I don't like when people's sole purpose on the show or storyline is through other cast members of the show. But it turned from an engagement party to a full on roast. They talking about each other's faces. Ciara and Amy. Zell is jumping in talking about Amy's face and how she looked like Wesley Snipes, honey. Then you got Bambi jumping in and like, you don't even go here. Why are you here? I was cracking up. I'm for real. And then she's saying about Sierra, oh, that's your man. He ain't gonna be here in 6 months. You'll be on to another one. Now that I agree with. I do. We all feel that way about Sierra. We've seen her last season. She was just serving divorce papers to the last guy. She was engaged to the guy before that. It's like constantly she was married when we first met her. He the one that messed up that. But she's constantly moving to the next relationship. So do I think this new marriage is gonna last? Probably not. Ciara is the Elizabeth Taylor of Atlanta, honey. Her and Carly are in competition. Hey, Summer's finest. They're both in competition for the most rings. So am I confident that Carly or Ciara's marriages are gonna last? Not so much. We'll see what happens in the next season if they're still together. Just being honest. I don't want to see nobody's relationship fail, but if we're going by past track record, I don't think it's gonna last long. But like I said, I don't really care for Amy that much, but it was like a 3-on-1 roasting situation. I really felt like Amy held her own. She was getting back at all of them. Like she held her own. And then she ended up, being escorted out before it got to a physical place. But again, it was another great episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. I've truly been chuckling this entire season. Next week is the season finale, so one episode left, and I'm still not sure if we're getting a reunion. I haven't seen anybody in reunion looks except for Yandy, who did like a reel, and she was in an outfit that looked like it could be a reunion look. I commented to ask her, "Is this your reunion look?" But she didn't reply. So I'm going to look into. Let me see if I can look now and see if we are going to if there's a reunion episode showing on the schedule real quick. But next week is the season finale. We'll see what happens with Amy and all her strained relationships, what happened with her and Scrappy and their fun dates, and as well as this cast album compilation or whatever they call it. It's not an album. It can't be if everybody's on the same beat, but we'll see what happens in the season finale. I have a sneak peek for the season finale as well. So you guys can take a look at it before it comes up. Let's see. Yeah, it's not looking like the last episode showing right now is next week, the 22nd. So there's nothing showing yet for a reunion. But I will keep you posted if they do have a reunion. I'm hoping so. They haven't really had any since COVID. So I'm hoping that they get back to it and then we'll learn from VH1 when will Love and Hip Hop Miami will be returning. But those are my thoughts on last night's episode, and I can't wait for the season finale. Now, I'm going to come back later today. I don't know what time yet. I will let you know because I'm going to be honest, I have not watched Real Housewives of New York yet. I do need to watch it. I'm dragging my feet because this season is really starting off slow and I'm not really feeling it too much. But I am gonna watch the episode, and I might come back have a little late night tea sesh tonight and recap Real Housewives of New York, so I don't get behind. But before I get out of here, if you have a business or a product that you want me to promote, my promotional prices are there on the screen. I would promote your business across my social media platforms. We are continuing to grow there daily, and I appreciate it and welcome new followers. If you would like to be a sponsor for the podcast, well, I'm currently doing an upward of 7 or 8 podcast shows a week. I will promote your business or your product there. If you're interested in either of those, you can email me. You see the sign above, reality, that's TEA underscore recap at yahoo.com. Also, if you would like to support me and helping me grow my platform, my Cash App is there in the corner. $ reality recap. I appreciate all your donations and support. And how do you support for free, guys? Like, share, follow, subscribe. The link to my YouTube channels are in my bios so that you can subscribe to my channel. So if you miss any of these live episodes while they're streaming, no worries. They are all loaded. All my Tea Talks are loaded on my YouTube channel as well as my Thursday night reality news weekly recap. So please make sure you share and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I will see you guys back a little later tonight. I'll put up the time a little later this afternoon of when I'll be able to come back and recap last night's episode of Real Housewives of New York. Now, before I go, as I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Don't forget that. It's your girl V with Reality Recap, and I'll see you, lady. I said, see you, lady. I'll see you later for a recap of last night's episode of Roni. Y'all have a great hump day. We halfway through the week, y'all. Keep it pushing. I'll see y'all later. Peace.